Hey, how are you? I want to show something to Jamie. I've been working on the lawnmower, and although I still have the COVID cough, I've been working on this. This lawnmower, not only was it throwing the belt, and I had to deal with that, and I don't even know if it's going to run properly yet or not, but I spent time working on putting this together so it would mulch. It would be a mulching mower, and it's $350 for the kit, but I just got 2 pieces of aluminum, overlapped them by a 1/2 inch, and threw a few rivets in there to hold it. Got 6 rivets, so it's pretty good, and it's held together fast. And then what I can do with it is try to cover up this spot where the grass shoots out, that opening. So I cut this to fit into there, and then I drilled holes on the ends, and I'm going to use bolts with wing nuts to hold it in place, and that way I can remove it if I ever have to, if the grass is too long and I need to actually let it shoot out the side. And this is what it looks like on the inside to try to make the mulching kit. It was $350 mulching kit, and there is 1 bolt there, and then 1 bolt up there, and on the outside it's just a wing nut, so easily removed, and then it keeps the grass inside. Okay, the original problem with the machine was that 2 of the pulleys wobbled. So that's on the front, and I found that there was a hole in the bottom that it rusted through. So I put a plate down there and some sealant, and a plate up here with some sealant. And then this is just an idler pulley. It just stays, and it was wobbling like crazy, so I replaced this one, and that looks good. And this is a blade, it's fine. And this is a blade, it's fine. The engine pulley, I assume, is okay. And then over here was an idler pulley that would move back and forth a little bit as you engaged it and then you disengaged it. It would give it a little bit of play. And that was this pulley. And it wobbled like crazy. So the way that it actually works is that there's a fulcrum here to the right, and it sits on a post, and then it won't spin on this post over here, but it will move back and forth on it as the belt, just to keep it tight. And there's a huge spring that keeps tension on it, which is right there. So this is a good size spring, and I bought a new spring in case the tension, this is the old spring. So it will go off of here. It's one of the things I have a great deal of trouble getting on and off. But the thing that I found out was that I got a new pulley. It wasn't bad here where the pulley mounts onto this plate, onto this arm. But what had happened is that the post that comes up from the bottom, it's bolted on underneath the bottom, it slips. Oops, it moved away. Here it is. It comes up underneath here. I'm not good at this. and then there's a cotter pin on the top. And like I said, this is just a fulcrum. It's just a pivot where it goes back and forth like this. However, this is one of the areas that you're supposed to grease periodically. And when I looked for that to grease, I couldn't find the grease fitting. So what I found out is that this hole that was here was never threaded, and there was never a grease fitting on it. So I went and got my little tap and die, the right size bit and the right size tap to create the threads, and I drilled it a little bit larger, the hole, not much, but I was able to go through and put threads in it, and then this grease fitting fits in fine. Now, one of the things that I found out was that this was okay, but the pin, let me see if I can get the pin, see, it has a notch in it over here, and it was worn, and that's where the wobbling came from. That whole arm would wobble on this thing. So I had to buy a new one of these, which they had to make for me. So it was a little expensive, but not too bad. So I have a new one that's going to go up, and I'll be able to grease it, so it should keep it from happening again. So that will go back. So 2 pulleys and the hole repair and the mulching channel, and I should start to be able to put it back together again.